Hi, this is Amanda. I posted some stuff yesterday about dealing with government agencies that claim to have authority over your amendment rights, specifically CPS. And I recently have had a very terrifying and unlawful experience. My family has with CPS, and basically I really want to stress this to anyone that has children or grandchildren, or just really, first off, I'm going to tell you, this can happen to anyone. You get someone that pissed off at you or whatever, they can call and make a complaint. CPS nationally, they answer every complaint. They do this. That helps them get clients. To really dig all the way to the bottom of this is incredibly sickening. But I hope that you never have to do this, because that's what we're having to do right now to try to fight to have my grandchildren, my son's children, 7 children, returned. These children were taken without a search warrant. They were taken without even an ex parte order in place. This CPS worker broke the law, okay? Even if my daughter-in-law allowed them to come in, she broke the law by taking her kids. And it's actually child abduction. Somebody takes your kids and they don't have a warrant, and there's not a police officer enforcing that, they can't take your kids. Okay? So, you're just living your normal daily life, and one day somebody knocks on your door, and they're like, "Hi, my name is stupid ass fuckface, and I work for CPS." Well, you say, "Yes, what is your business here, stupid ass fuckface?" And she says, "Well, I just here to do a well check. We've had some complaints about your kids. Someone said that we may have or actually it's more usually like I was wondering if I could come in and talk to you for a few minutes." You say no. If they happen to have a police officer with them, you say, "Do you have a warrant? I would like to cooperate with you. Can I have your search warrant, please?" "Oh, well, this is just a well check. We just need to look at your child. Well, you know, stupid ass fuckface, I would love to cooperate with you, but I have to follow the law as well. So therefore, for you to enter my home or get any information from me whatsoever, you need to get a search warrant. All this will just take a minute. I just need to look at your child. I just need to look at... Do not let them look at your child. Say, I'm sorry that I understand that you are obligated to investigate, but to do this right, you have to get a search warrant, okay? They'll scare the shit out of you in every way. If there's a cop standing there, they ain't for you unless they got that warrant. That warrant has to be handed to you. And it will only be handed to you by a police officer. And by proof, the burden of proof is on the worker that there's a likelihood that something has happened. You cannot get a warrant on word of mouth. You cannot get a warrant on an allegation. And if they do happen to think that it's really pertinent that they get a warrant, and for some strange reason, which would be, it would have to be pretty specific, a judge grants them that, then the police officer will hand you that, and they are only allowed to look at what's on that warrant. If the warrant says Johnny has a big bruise on his knee, and we would like to ask Johnny how he got that bruise, they can only talk to Johnny. They cannot talk to your other kids. They cannot look at your house. Okay? And it's specific to what is on the search warrant. They can't use anything else. Not even a cop can. So, that's just one tip I wanted to put out there for people. If you've been involved with CPS, and they're coming for their regular Saturday visit, and they've been dragging this shit on forever, and they're basically there to compile evidence against you. So at any point, you can exercise your right. It doesn't matter if you signed up for a class or services, or it doesn't matter. You can tell them, you know, I'd like to continue cooperating with you, but it's my right, and it's the law, that if you come in here and gather information or search my house, or is any information that they gather, I mean, if they come to your door and say, are you so-and-so? You don't even got to tell them that. You don't got to tell them your birth date. You don't got to tell them your kid's birth date. They are there to offer a service. They're not police officers. They have no more right over you than anyone. In fact, in that position, you have far more rights over them because they are standing in your place of dwelling. That's your privacy. They are the ones invading your rights, your privacy. They are the ones intruding. Okay? They're breaking the law. They do it by coercion because they scare you. They say, we'll be back with a warrant. We'll rip your kids out. They will not win that way. They won't get a warrant to come in and take your kids. And if they do, under those pretenses, they are guilty of a crime. The police cannot enforce them committing a crime. So if they continue to badger you and demand or coerce entry into your home or any information about you or the child that's they're questioning or whatever it may be, you can look at that police officer and say, officer, please exercise my, enforce my rights here and let this person know to get off my property. As far as that goes, you could call the police on them if they don't leave, because they're breaking the law. They bring a cop with them only for their own protection, because it's a civil matter. It's like a civil stand-in, It's a courtesy that the police do for the CPS workers because people have shot them. And it's for their safety. But they use it for their intimidation of you. Don't fall for it. Don't let CPS in your house. Don't answer any questions. And if they also feel that they can go to the school and gain permission from your child to ask information, okay? I'm going to tell you how, right now, to avoid that. You get like a little business card, okay? You write down on it. I realize that I have the right to deny an interview with anyone without my parents present. Something to that effect. Could sound even more legal, I don't know. But that's what you say. You put it on a card. On the other side of that card, your name and your phone number and how they can get a hold of you. On the front of the card, let me say it again. Just write, I hereby decline an interview with you until my parents are present and I ask for you to notify my parents immediately. I mean, I might even throw something up on the tag end of this video or something so you can see what a card like that looks like, but that's all you gotta do. That way your kid don't have to figure out who a government official is or what anything is. Give him that card. Tell him if anyone wants to talk to him. Besides his teacher or the principal. Or if anyone wants to talk to him and they ask him questions like, what does he eat? Is his house have heat? Does any of those kind of questions that are an invasion of your privacy. Tell your kid if they ask you about anyone at your home or anything in your home or anything about their parents, they're not to answer any of those questions without handing those people that card. And it's really hard for them to tell the difference between a government official and a regular person. So the card works really great. Because it'll weed them out. But, yeah, that is something I want to, again, put out there to anyone that might be going through some of the shit we're going through right now. And even if you've been with them, I'm telling you, you've been with them for 10 months and they've just been breathing down your neck, they come to your house tomorrow, tell them to get the fuck off your property. You got the right to do that. Tell them to go get a warrant. They might think they have, if they get a warrant, it's a search warrant, okay? They have to search exactly what is on that warrant. They can't just search for random shit. This ex parte order to remove the kids was not a search warrant. Completely different. It's not a license to go have someone come in and take your kids. Not even an ex parte. Not unless there's criminal charges and a warrant issued at the same time. There has to be substantial evidence to issue a warrant. CPS workers most likely cannot get that kind of evidence because a warrant for search and seizure is a criminal case. It's a criminal thing. It's to check for unlawful things like child abuse, like not neglect, not your house could be clean. No. You hurt your kid and somebody knows it. Or, you know, a lot of things. But they gotta have evidence. They can't go on complaints. They can't go on hearsay. And definitely, there is never, ever a warrant issued on an anonymous complaint. If there is, that judge. But they're not going to do that because it has to go through a criminal court. They're tricking you. Don't let them in. Don't matter if you got a case. Tell them that you've decided that you don't need their services anymore and that you would like them to leave your property. And if they continue to make you think that you know, they're gonna come in and do something, if they file shit against you, they don't have a search warrant to come in your house and they come back 3 or 4 times, that's harassment. And then you can press charges on them. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to throw a couple pointers out there so nobody gets caught in this fucking rotten mess. And you know, we're fighting this, and I'll keep you updated. But you know, oh, I wanted to bring something else out to you. When we're born, we get a birth certificate. Yes, it's a state of Michigan certificate of live birth. It's like a title to your car. If they sign off of it, and you sign on to it, and you don't register it, it still belongs in the name, the original name, which is State of Michigan. So when you have your kids, when you go register their birth certificates at the courthouse, this is why CPS thinks they own your children. Federal law says they do not. Register your kids' birth certificates at the courthouse. Go get copies of them. It's really important. You wouldn't think it'd make a big deal. Some people never get their birth certificate their whole life, or they just go get it when they get older or whatever. I think you're allowed to get like 7 copies of a birth certificate or something. Go get all of them, because they're yours. And it's the only, and I mean it's awful because there's so many loopholes, but it's your only proof, your only ownership paper of your kid. So, real important. Register their birth certificates. Alright. I will keep you guys posted. I've got a few more little things maybe I'll throw out there, man. It takes me so long. I think I'm going to say something in 10 minutes, and here it is 22 minutes. So, I'm going to let y'all go. And, peace, man. Know your rights. Don't let this shit happen to you. Don't let them people in your house. You don't have to.